Bars is back. Sam and oh God, what's up with?
Attention all my business owners, if you would like to advertise your business right before each video that we do here on Hip Hop News Uncensored, make sure you email us right now, advertise@hiphopun.com, advertise@hiphopun.com, ask about our holiday specials.
Uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Hip Hop Uncensored.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. I want to kind of switch gears a little bit and talk a little bit about Kanye West.
Yeah.
You know, a report came out today that Adidas was losing to the tune of about $1 billion or more. We didn't get a chance to talk about Kanye West. So if you want to kind of talk about what happened prior and kind of bring it up to current day, as far as now Adidas losing money now for dropping him and continuing to try to sell his designs, his shoes without him.
Man, our brother Kanye.
Man.
Our brother Kanye, man, is, you know, there's so much that goes on with our brother because, you know, he's had an adventurous, I would say, life where, you know, the success, the rise, the momentum, everything, the evolution, the changes. There's been so much that has happened with our brother, where some deem him to be crazy, others deem him to be a genius, others just don't know what the hell to think.
Right.
Because within the last 6 months, the brother has done some pretty sporadic things on both sides to where people are like, I don't even know what to think about my brother now.
Right.
I don't know. But I'll say it this way. First off, when the brother lost his mother, and I have to be real, right? I'm not going to justify, but we're looking at different things and components that led up to where he is right now. That's one of the major factors that destroyed him. In his own words, he said this, but you could see what happened after that. His life went on a decline after that. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to mention it. The marrying Kim Kardashian. All right. People say what they want. Look at the results.
Yeah.
All right. Just leave it at that. People say whatever they want to say. But that decision, it's not a decision that I would have made, but I'm not in this position. I'm not him. So therefore, okay. But, you know, he made that decision. Fine. That changed him. Also, when he was committed to a psych ward, I would say outside of his mother, losing his mother, this was by far the most detrimental component, which is something that he has said over and over again. When they committed him to a psychiatric facility, only those who have been through it or those who work with those who have been through it truly understand the effect and the weight of what this truly does to you. When you're committed to a psychiatric facility, specifically a 72-hour hold, when they can commit you to any psychiatric facility for up to 3 days, they can do virtually anything to you in the realm of drugging you or giving you electroshock.
Wow.
Okay. Depending on what facility, some facilities do not administer electroshock, but many of them still do. He was, as he said in his own words, yes, he was prescribed psych drugs. And these psychotropics have multiple effects. They have well over 100 different effects. Anything from weight gain to eye bulging, to rapid changes in mood, to increases in depression, to suicidal thoughts, homicidal tendencies. These are all common effects of these drugs: Wellbutrin, Zyprexa, Adderall, Thorazine, Paxil, you know, you name it. Valium, one of the most famous ones. Brexpiprazole, which is Rexulti, the one that Tyrese was on. That Tyrese said made him have all these crazy mood swings, and he told his therapist to get him off of them.
Right.
Okay, so that's a major component that everyone needs to look at, because that's something that adds to his overall mental state and where he is right now. And I'm saying the drugs did that to him in large part. In particular is what I'm talking about. I'm not saying he was like that and the drugs helped. I'm saying the drugs, because this is what they do, help to lean him into that type of mental position. Okay. And then he came out and admitted that this is what happened to him. He said they tried to kill him and they tried to put him on so many drugs that it was changing how he was operating. He said this, I think, on 3 different interviews. And people are like, no, he crazy, except for the people who have been through it themselves.
Right.
And they're like, no, I've taken this drug or that drug that was given to me by my psychiatrist, my therapist, my psychologist, etc. And it does do this, it does do that. And I did a 3-part series breaking down the history of the mental health field. That's on my YouTube at Rizza Islam, Intellectual Extremist. But after that, he then came out on I believe it was Drink Champs, which that was the interview that did it. All right, that was the one
right there. Yeah, that was the one.
There were over 90,000 people watching live this interview, and he dropped so many critical facts that no one can dispute or refute, especially when it comes to the music industry, health industry, contracts. He laid it out. He did. But when he brought up the fact about the drugging, his handler is was Harley Pasternak. Harley Pasternak is a Caucasian Canadian white man who was a former special ops operative for the Canadian military. Harley Pasternak specialized in chemistry when it comes to how to use food and different chemicals to control people. He said this in an interview himself, where he was talking about how he can use certain chemicals to bring down a person's appetite, to bring down their sleep, circumstance to where they would feel like they had energy, lots of energy or no energy, etc. So he said he was experimenting with these things. And because he has certain connections in the government and used to work in the government, they're not necessarily watching him per se. This is what he said in his own words. He bragged about the fact that he could freely do these things. Kanye West brought out the text message. If y'all remember the screenshot that he brought out, where he read what Harley Pasternak sent him. The man told him, he said, I will have you committed again. Now, okay, all right. So first off, you just admitted you had him sent to a psych ward.
Yeah.
You admitted you were the one, Harley Pasternak. So you had him sent to a psych ward the first time. He said, I will have you committed again. Okay, so all right. So that's a threat. You lost your damn mind. But number two, you admitted you did it. Okay, cool. So you have that. Then he said, I will have you so doped up and I will send you back to zombie land. This is what this white man said to Kanye. Wow. Then he said, playtime with the children will never be the same again. Now look, man.
That's deep.
Look. You can think whatever the hell you want to think about Kanye as an artist or with certain things he said or whatever. But when a white man threatens a black man like that, threatens to take him away from his children, to put him in a psych ward, put him on drugs, and all of that horrific, disgusting stuff that is very reminiscent of a slave master on a damn plantation. You need to drop all your political and nonsense, drop all that, and look at him as a brother and say, that was wrong. Period. That's wrong. So that's what he was trying to tell everybody. That brother is not the same. And when we hear him talking, it's always something sporadic. But most of the time, it's on point. It's just, we can't believe, damn, he said that. But he really said it. Like, yo, he said it. Yes, right. He did. And sometimes it's off the wall. And sometimes it's so true, you just can't believe it. So that it's been a very difficult thing for a lot of people, because some just want to call him crazy because they're too mentally lazy to analyze what's happening with him, while others know exactly what's going on. So I'm one of those brothers who, I'm not throwing Kanye away. I love our brother, but I know what this enemy does. They put a handler from the U.S. government next to, pardon me, from the Canadian government next to him, Harley Pasternak, to keep him quiet. And he broke out of that programming and he told and he exposed the system, including those who we know, the J Mafia. He exposed them for what they were doing to him and his family and all that as well. So there's layers to it. Believe what you want about Kanye, but again, the brother was targeted. And if he wasn't speaking the truth, then all of these things would not have happened to him.
I want to ask about his cultural effect on Adidas and how that's he's taking him single-handedly taking him down. But before I do, you said something that, man, his handler. How does one Kanye West find himself with a handler as if he's a child flying on an airplane by himself? Like, well, what are we talking about by handler? Like, please explain and expound on that for me, brother, if you don't mind. That's astounding to me.
Become a multimillionaire as a black man in America as a rapper, and you will be given a handler. You will be given one, bar none. They're placed around you. Maybe not every single rapper, maybe not every single basketball player, maybe not every single NFL player. Okay. But I will honestly say 7 or 8 or even 9 times out of 10, you are going to have a handler next to you because you are getting in a position to where you can more than likely help to bring your people to an area or a degree of freedom. If you're getting to an area where you're becoming very influential, you're having high financial status, so you're able to do more to affect and help more,
right,
or harm more. So that means you have to be monitored. You have to be watched. If I'm giving you the access to make a lot of money, yeah, you got the talent. Yeah, you earned it. Yes, you work real hard. You was practicing every day. You was studying hard all the time. You earned that. That's a fact. But you need the platform with which to utilize to gain access to these funds by using your talent. I got the platform. I put you on this platform. I got you the different connections. You got the contracts. You got the sponsors. You think I'm about to sit here and let you be in that position and I'm not going to have somebody watching you? See, we have to really think about how the enemy thinks. How do they really think here? You become a multi-millionaire, and not that, brother. I'll tell you something that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said. He said, no Black man in America or woman becomes a billionaire. He really said multi-millionaire or billionaire without having friendship in the J community.
That's real.
Who owns the banks?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, let's stop being soft with this crap and think. We're thinking about power now. So if you want to take color out of it, you could try.
Right.
But let's think unless we get into an area of access of power. He became a billionaire. Do we even understand? Most of us we don't know that kind of money. That's why we can't think that way.
Right.
Because we've never had that kind of money. But if you are around those who have it, talk to them. They will tell you it is a different world. So no, brother, he was given access. And people, again, yes, he has the talent and all that, but he didn't have the platform. He gets booked for things. So the people book you because they got something to book you on. So they got this. And he was given a handler because he would become too influential. And as they have seen, he became too influential. And that's what he said to the people. If I say this, they're going to try to kill me, is what Kanye said multiple times. And he said, and that's why they didn't want y'all to know that I'm a billionaire. They didn't want to say billionaire because they don't want you to see a Black man can get to this level in modern time and have this kind of influence. So no, brother, it's handlers are set up. I said this on No Jumper. I've said this on 85 South. You can miss me with the post-racial circumstance. All right. You just miss me with this.
Right.
Only a fool thinks that this system now loves Black people.
Right.
You are a damn fool.
Right.
You will always be a fool if you think like this. It's just about money now. Rizza, everybody getting money. We have different ways of making money. Yes, you're absolutely right. But you still don't have the land. You still don't own all the platforms. You don't own not one damn satellite. You don't own a phone company. Like, let's go. Let's stop it. Handlers are placed around rappers, basketball players, NFL players, people who gain a high level of access to make sure that you don't use your money to really build your people by establishing institutions, grocery stores, buying up land so that your people can have full access to it, banking systems, etc. They don't want that. They'll let you open a community center, do something that looks nice, toy drive, but when it comes to doing things that will change the condition so that they can no longer feed off of your people, they want to make sure you ain't doing nothing like that. So women are set up primarily, and I have to just marinate on this so that the brothers can get it through their head. You sign your contract at your signing party, and there are women there. Your manager brings the women. You think not one of these women, not one at all, is sent to you. You think so? See, now let's be real.
Yeah,
let's be real now. Let's be real now. All right. So we on Hip Hop Uncensored. Let's be real, brother. Nas talked about the hip hop cops back then.
Yeah,
who were set up to monitor rappers. They're sent to monitor y'all. This is their duty. This is their job. Women are some of the most successful and deadly agents used by every government, specifically Japanese, Chinese, and others. But women, because they can gain access into areas that men can't.
Yep.
Especially getting up next to powerful men.
Yep.
So if I want to send somebody to really get at you, I'll send a woman. So you take that however the hell you want to take it. But the reality is, if some of these women who come to these parties, you sign your contract for 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, These women come up to you, and there's just one that just look good to you and all that, but she's finishing your sentences. She knows damn everything before you say it. You're like, man, where you coming from?
A soulmate, right? Goodness gracious.
Hey, man, you know, this ain't no theory. This is an
Right.
actual fact, because that's how
Man.
it is. We all have a file on us, and they have to study your file. I've seen one of my files when the FBI came and visited me. One of the 3 times they visited me, they showed me one of my files.
Wow.
So it's a very real thing. This is not a theory. This is a fact. And only brothers who really want to gain access to a certain level will think like this so that they know how to move. Some of them don't learn until later. Then they're like, damn, I wish I want to trust this person. I wish I didn't give this person my address. Wish I didn't give this person access to my account, et cetera, et cetera. So again, I just want to kind of lay that on thick, brother. Handlers are real. Handlers are set up. Many of the handlers work for the government. And sometimes your handler can be that parent who's trying to live through you because they were not able to be successful in the same field that you yourself are successful in now.
Goodness gracious.